Hello, good evening, and a very warm welcome to Rangers Radio.
Well, good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Fox Chair, on the show this evening. There's a one and only Southside and the legend and the king of Rangers Radio, the Bridge. Evening, boys.
Evening, Ox. Good evening to Bridgeman, the legend, as you say. And good evening to everyone listening this evening and all our troops on YouTube listening in.
Evening, Bridge.
Oh, good evening, Ox Chair. Good evening to yourself, Southside. Hope you can carry me through this. Can I just say evening to the techie guys in the background, and can listen to all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world, getting very nervous. Good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio.
I'll carry you as long as it's an air of each, as long as we don't have to throw you over our shoulder.
Excuse me.
Oh dear. How are you, Southside?
Aye, good mate, good, and it was good to get back to normal business, see the famous Glasgow Rangers and get the 3 points, bud.
Aye, it was a big game. We'll go on to that. How are you, Bridge?
Excellent, pal, thank you very much. Excellent. Compared to what I was, I'm excellent.
Aye. Would it be fair to say, Southside, it was a nervy game in the relief when the third goal went in, because people, they know the importance of all the games now?
I thought it was a weird game. I thought we sort of controlled the game for big, large spells, if not just about all it. They had wee spells in the game. Did I think they would score? No. But once they did, I thought we'd go back up the park at some point and score again, I felt as if we beat them on Saturday, just the way the game was flowing and the way we were playing. I just thought we will get there. But I wasn't that nervy, but obviously it takes the pressure off when you get the third goal. But it was a strange day and a strange game.
I was delighted with the game. I thought I just love beating Hibs. I just love it. I think obviously second to them across the city, but I absolutely love it when we beat Hibs. It makes me feel so good, seriously.
I thought we started okay, Southside, yeah. We started okay. We were pressing the ball well. We were trying to get a foothold in the game. They did play an open game. They play an open game of football. So credit their manager.
Yep, they certainly do. They certainly try and pass it out for the backups, and they take chances, and that's what we had to try and get it. Steal off them at times, but the day and give them fair credit, they did try to go up the park. I mean, a few times, obviously they got up and scored, but and when we gave the ball away, they have a bit of pace up front. They were knocking it into channels, but they weren't in trouble on their goalkeeper. But you could see that maybe a better pass either side. At times they might have got in more, but we weren't great at the start, but we were controlling the game and passing the ball and going forward.
So we started to slowly get a foothold in the game, Bridgeman. And people were playing well. There was misplaced passes. You could hear the nerves. And then we get a penalty, a VAR penalty. And by the way, it's amazing how many penalties the referees miss. Well, I'll be honest, I never noticed it in real time. I don't know if any of you two gentlemen noticed it again. I noticed it at wrong end. I noticed the wrong end for you, Bridge. But in the deer seat, Southside, did you notice it in real time?
Everybody around about has seen it straight away, mate. We thought he just smashed him there in the box.
Apart from you.
He's just been smashed in the box there. Let's be honest, Ox, right? If that happens to anybody else in the park, if that happens like you see, maybe a player punts the ball up with a big centre forward and he goes up like that to the centre back and smashes him in the face, it's going to be a foul and a yellow card. Anybody else in the park. So in the box, so it's a penalty.
It was stupid by the defender, by the way, because I don't think John Stewart was getting the ball. Did you notice it in real time, Bridge?
As far as I'm concerned, he went for him. And as simple as that, he took the man. He was never going to get that ball. The ball was far too high. But he made it look as if he was going for the ball properly. And I know it just nobody said by maybe 3 or 4 inches, but he went there, arms sticking out, elbow sticking out. He was taking him, that's for sure.
Okay, so it seemed to take forever, but I'm hearing stories that you went for 2 coffees. Stevie ate 3 pies while we're waiting in the VAR decision.
I love it.
I know, the VAR decision took ages, didn't it?
I think you had a full range. I think you had your traditional mince, your beef and your kebab one. I think you had the 3 while we were waiting in the VAR decision.
Washed in with a Diet Coke, obviously.
Well, of course, you know he's an athlete, the biggie. Right, so we gets the penalty kick, and this is where the drama starts. So Tav steps up to take it, and he's blaming his wife. That's a new one on me. So he puts it down the middle. Because he always does what he's told, of course. So the goalie saves it 2 in a row against Tav. The ball comes out. Scott Wright comes in, puts it in. Help me out, south side, and then the bridge. What happened next?
Well, once he's made a mess of it for where we're sitting, we get a good view for there. Ox. I just thought when the ball went in the net, it was a goal. I had no idea that it was going to be chopped off. You didn't see anybody blatantly run in the area. There was people around about the edge of the box, so I just taken it was going to be a goal. Rangers are celebrating, and I thought that was it, done and dusted. And I've seen it back. He's run for a distance back. I think it's hard to tell whether he's really in the box or no. I know there's a foot seemingly there. You can see players, although their feet might not be in the area, but they look like they're encroaching along the whole 18-yard box. I understood that if an opposition player and an opposing player encroach, it's usually retaken. But they've adjudged that it was only Scott Wright that first broke the line. So, therefore, they can't give the goal.
You're splitting hairs, aren't you? Because obviously you're getting stills. And for me, I've still seen it, what I've seen, and I've not seen into. It looks as if the Hibs boy has just put a foot in the box before him. I could never see for the pictures I've seen that whether Wright, when they're saying he's just in. Listen, if that's the rules, it's the rules. But, wow. And also, what I did read, and I'll go to Bridge about the penalty first, the goal first, and I'll come in. Bridge, what was your take on it? You must have been bemused.
Well, I'm stunned. As I said, when you see it afterwards and they're talking VAR, all you're seeing, you've got replays of the same thing, and you're not even getting that many different angles. You needed one from the other side. Far side linesman should have seen it, that kind of thing. But I don't think the linesman put his flag up or anything like that. I don't think that was going on. I just think I'm mystified about the decision. I'm totally mystified. It was VAR that's called it. The referee gave the whatever it be the goal, and I just don't understand why they wanted to take that goal off Rangers. That's immediately I thought of that. There's something going on here, underhanded, and I still believe that now because if they're going to do these things, they have to show their judgment. What's made that happen? Shows that guy in the box before anybody else.
That's totally fair, mate. I've read also about the Spanish who are further down the line and with VAR and us, that people at the ground can hear like they do in the rugby, and that's also fair because the way the people at the game have been treated as customers is disgraceful because they don't know what's happening. Unless they've got a mobile phone, that's how they're finding out. That's not how it should be, Southside, should it?
No, they've done it like even the rugby and the American football. Even if they just explain it by a mic and you can hear it, then even if you don't agree with it, because you get decisions in rugby and on, you probably hear them booing and all that decision, but at least you know. Honestly, I had no idea. The linesman did put his flag up, Bridge, at some point.
I never saw that. Honestly.
And then they were like, what's he putting his flag up for? To be honest, in real time, you could never have told that Scott Wright had put his foot into the area. And even the boy next to him, when you actually see when Scott Wright kicks the ball, that Hibs player's further than Scott Wright is when he goes to shoot. He doesn't get a block on it, but he's further in the box than what Scott Wright was when he takes the shot.
But Scott Wright, he must have been maybe 4 yards, 5 yards behind. He was matching Tavernier's run up. Sorry?
he's done everything right. He's trying to time his run so he gets in the box.
Absolutely,
yeah. He's trying to get his run up and he gets in the box. What I've got a criticism of Scottish football, again, you'll not be surprised. They've got a directive zero tolerance. Now, I'd have thought that the rules are the rules and you enforce the rules the whole season. We've changed it a few months ago. We've changed the way we're doing it halfway through a season. Again, Southside, when we brought in VAR halfway through a season, can these people get nothing right? Better watch what I'm saying, and I might get somebody saying I hate them, and then I'll be getting a
You'll be getting a chap at the door.
You will.
It'll be the first time. At the end of the day, I didn't even know they changed the rules, to be honest, Ox. There you go.
I don't think they've changed the rules. They're having zero tolerance.
No, right, zero tolerance, aye. Listen, Scott Wright done everything right. He did make the run, as you said, and all. Just, I wouldn't have expected to have to miss it, to be honest. But he was standing a bit shorter, I thought, towards the ball. I know he does a wee shuffle, but see, to be honest, Ox, all kidding aside, that was a poor penalty. And we can't afford to be missing penalties like that at this crucial time of the season. This is a business end, and I know he's genuinely good, but
I was on the phone today trying to get hold of Tavernier's number. I was actually wanting his wife's number so I can say, look, just tell him to put it in the top corner. Right? That's why
I said at the game. I think go tap bin anywhere, left or right, but up high. And once I seen what he'd done, I was like, no
doing the middle. Anyway, it's just VAR, no great for the punters at the game. The rules are the rules. So we moved on. We started to impose myself in the game. There was down the left-hand channel, there was a ball John Lundstrom burst into, if you like, the old inside left channel, put a ball across, and who pops up? The guy can't score a penalty with a tremendous finish, Bridge. James.
Fabulous finish. Oh my goodness, yeah. Wow. Fabulous goal. One of his best, from outside. Absolutely fantastic, Loved it. And that made up for the penalty miss for him. And of course the rest of us were there, So everybody likes to see Rangers scoring. And it's just great when it's Tavernier at the present moment. I don't know. You mentioned earlier, did I hear you say something about how many penalties he scored? My God, it's uncountable.
Aye. Well, I'm sure we'll discuss that as the night goes on. So we get to go, and you're thinking, right, let's settle down, get another before half time, and we were playing okay. So I said they weren't really threatening as much. We were controlling the game.
Aye, we were controlling the game at that point, Ox, and just doing again if we gave a slight pass away. We were threatening on the counter without actually troubling our goalkeeper, just once or twice in the first half. But at that point, once he stepped up, big moment in the game again, and he didn't half-put his foot through it, didn't he? Great shot towards the goal, power, everything that you wanted. The big moment in the game, and it changed the game for us at that point. And he stepped up again, mate, as we expect or as we usually don't expect it, but he just seems to do it, doesn't he? Lead by example.
It's uncanny, mate. It's uncanny. Listen, people have their own thoughts, and I think we saw the best and the worst of James Henry Tavernier at the weekend there. Obviously, the penalty miss, and it didn't look good later on, but I'll come to that. So we've got opportunities, but we're no pep on the goal. We're playing okay. There's things happening. Scott Wright's doing all right. Cantwell's trying hard, trying to influence the game. For me, Diamonde and John Lundstrom couldn't get into it too much in the first half. They had a lot of the ball, but they weren't influencing it. That's how you judge, apart from the run that John done for the goal, which was a good bit of play. So then, because of the added time, because of VAR, they broke away. Diamonde tried to play a straight pass, gets spotted out, gets played up, they play a ball in behind, and I've got to be honest, Southside, I'll come to you first, mate. We had the debate on Wednesday, and John Lundstrom, he did not look quick.
No, he didn't. I know he played the ball inside him, but I thought, get the legs going. I've seen you sprint across the park before the odd time. I've seen him up down the line once at Ibrox. Remember, he chased somebody right back and he looked quite powerful, but I thought he looked slow and sluggish after a 2-week break. And then maybe because the boys carried on, he's probably got himself into the area at that point, and Suter comes across and does really nothing.
Nothing.
No, you know.
It was excuse me, wasn't it? Excuse me, on you go, wasn't it?
Aye, and then when Lundstrom gets back in the area, it seems to go by him and all. And then once the boys get the ball in the box, Golson's just diving in into him. I mean, imagine if he takes him out there. You know, it's a Stonewall penalty. But the boy skips by him. Tav's obviously in the wrong side, innit? You can just see it developing. And just I didn't realise he'd just got his foot on it. And I don't know what Butland was doing. I thought he could have maybe stayed low and maybe went to a side, but he sort of just dived.
It was a strange goal because there was, I'll even include Diamondi in it. Diamondi, Lundstrom, Suter, Golson, Tavernier and Butland were all involved. And none of them covered themselves in Coney Bridge.
Well, you can't say too much about them because that's to me, that's typical of Rangers. It's so typical, it's not real. A lot of the times they look really comfortable and everything's fine, and there's no pressure, absolutely no pressure from anyone. And out of the blue, we lose the ball here or lose it there, and we can't catch a guy up, and all that nonsense. Where legs, whomever is running, could their legs gone, their head's gone, and all of a sudden they're chasing it. And the opposition get 2 and 3 people in our box quite regularly. But our goalkeeper and defence have been quite good with it. That's shocking. That was such a terrible thing. Terrible. I don't want to say too much more about it. I'd rather leave it.
I don't think it was anybody's fault. What I'm saying, Southside, I don't think a few players covered themselves in glory.
No, I think it's a poor goal. You know, for the minute it goes by Lundstrom, that should have been stopped or cut out. And it wasn't. And Hibs had came up the park once or twice before that, but just couldn't make that final ball. But a couple of times when they broke on the right, I remember looking at from where I sat, looking across, they had a spare man spare in the box, but they never ever delivered the bottom. But there was a couple of chances in the first half. And then obviously they go and they do it right that next time where we don't cut it out, we don't make the tackle, and the guy finishes it. And you're like, one chance, shot at goal, and he scored.
Aye.
Back to like we've seen happen, so it needs to be cut out, Ox, you know. It does.
That's the only shot at goal. The only.
I know, Bridge, but we can be critical because it's what changes games and that, and we shouldn't have been maybe getting into that game. It's good we turned it around, but we could have been in there at half time, one each, when they didn't right to be one each getting in at half time, you know.
Momentum. So when you think it's going to be one each at half time, we get the ball done. The ball goes out to the right wing to Todd Cantwell, and he puts in an exquisite cross. And your big mucker, CD9 Southside. What a finish.
Aye, sure it was. It surprised me a lot, to be honest, but Tav gets the ball and obviously Cantwell just goes down the channel, didn't he? He seen the space and he ran into it. He didn't even look like he looked up. I thought at the time he must have, but I watched it back. But what a cross with pace on it and everything you want, and the striker just has to get his head on it and direct it, and that's what he did. I was happy for the big game because he played really well. I thought he worked hard. His touch and his layoffs were good yesterday and Saturday. So I thought he deserved his goal, mate, at that time. You know, it was good that we got it at that time before half time.
I thought he was our best player on Saturday. If you give credit when it's true, I don't think there was much in it, but I did think he edged it. So it's 2-1 at half time, Bridge. So we went from being a bit of despair to saying, oh, what a goal.
Yeah. By the way, it was a great goal. Smashing header. You can't say too much about these things. They're really good. I think it's wonderful to see when Rangers on the full pelt, and they really do. They really do punish people through the midfield. But my God, we need to finish. And Dessers are getting a doing all the time. And then all of a sudden he scores a fantastic goal. It's brilliant stuff. It's brilliant. Lovely to see.
And then, we go on 2-1 up at half time. And the second half, I thought we played well up to the final, not even the final third Southside, the final 20. And my decision making at that point let us down.
Aye, final balls and, like you say, decision making at the right time, picking the right pass. I thought Hibs sort of tried the second half. No, they sort of were a wee bit more competitive at the start of the half. I thought we were a bit sluggish, to be honest. First 5-10 minutes of the second half, Ox. But aye, it was just the wrong decision making the final pass that let us down, or we might have been through in goal. And we sent off earlier than we were.
Aye. So, listen, it was good to get the players on. It was good to see them come on. Sima, Matondo, Sterling, who ended up playing 2 positions. We'll come to that in a minute. But the mood lifted Southside when, Bridgeman, when young Matondo cut inside. And I can imagine a lot of people, maybe even myself included, what you doing, get inside? Oh, goal, what a goal. It was another great goal, Bridge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're not alone. You just hear a load of voices going, "Oh no, what are you doing?" And all of a sudden, bang, balls in the net. Fantastic. It's just great thrills when these things happen, and against the odds. Against the odds.
Another great goal, Southside. Another great goal.
Listen, this is what we've been talking about. We spoke about it last week, didn't we? We want players that are back in the squad fit, that have made the bench, and we start to get a bit excited that we go, where's Matondo back? There's Sima coming back. But you want them to make an impact when they come on the Parcocks. And that's exactly what he did for the short time that he was on. I think he was only on, but they scored within being on the park even 10 minutes. And it was a good bit of play, and it was a great finish. I didn't expect him to shoot for there, but what a goal right in the bottom pokey. And it'll do his confidence good, because I think he's a confidence player as well, and he's just back. So if you remember, before he went out injured, he was playing pretty well for us, wasn't he? He'd scored and had a few assists, and then we got out injured, and he's been out for quite a wee while now, and now he's back. So hopefully he'll continue to be an impact player, or even when he starts, he'll prove to have good impact like that for us, an extra dimension to the team-ops.
You could hear the relief, because obviously I think that was a game done, and it just drained out the energy, and we should have maybe scored maybe another couple after that. Big Sima had a good chance when he went through, and it was good to see the big man back. It'd been even better if he'd have scored that one, Bridger.
Oh yes. Look, I'm absolutely delighted to see him back, and because he does all that. He gets 100% for the time he's on, and you could see, couldn't you? You could see. He wants hungry for goals, hungry for shots. He's there. I'm sure he's going to come right back into his game. I don't necessarily say over the next week. It's not going to be miraculous, but I think over the long, by the end of the season, he'll be 100% fit. That's the way it'll go. That's the way it'll work out for him. Provided he doesn't get clattered.
Aye, I don't want him 100% fit for the end of the season. I would like him 100%.
No, of course we want it now. All I mean is overall, there's only so much time.
He needs games. What did you get? About 50. He came on about 80 minutes, so that gives you about 15 minutes, and then you've got another week's training. So, the same way Sterling, who looked fit and powerful, Southside. I think we've got to find a position for that boy in the team, and I still think I've watched him at left back. I get his balance. There was times you can see he was a right-fitted player playing out there. I know he's not a natural winger. When he came on and played there for a few minutes, I still think we've got to try and find a place for that boy in the team, mate.
Aye, you and many others. I thought left back, like you say, been doing a few times, and then he had to sort of chop in and use his right foot.
Aye, what comes naturally, isn't it?
Aye. And I was wondering, can he use his left foot, or is he really a bit uncomfortable? He will be totally right-sided playing on the left. But then again, was it Martin Boyle in it? When he came on, I thought he handled him well, because he sort of pushed out to the right, as you know what he does, and I thought he done well against him, because he's got the physique and all that, and he's got power and pace. Mm-hmm. So he done well out there. Whether he'll start next week, I don't know. We'll probably talk about that later on, but find a place in the team for him, starter. So you can only either go left back. Well, Fridvan is fit, so you would just play him on the right side of midfield, right side of the wing, regardless. Then
no, I wouldn't.
Would you know?
No, I wouldn't play him on the right side of the wing. No, I don't know who, but if it was me and I was picking the team, mate, I would have him beside Lundstrom.
So where's your creativity for the two then? Because one's got to go the way one plays, as you've seen, he flings one up, Diamonte's your guy, he goes and helps the attackers.
Aye, That's what I would do. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would do. Give him license. But anyway, I'm sure we'll debate that as the week goes on. Southside. Any thoughts, Bridge, before we open these phone lines?
No, I'm happy. Carry on, pal. Lovely to hear. Listen, great to listen to you two. Great to listen to you.
Right, Southside, Bridge. We better get these phone lines opened. Big week, big week. Yeah.
Aye, of course, build up to playing against them, and we're just off a victory, mate.
Am I allowed to say out loud what my brain's thinking? Is that illegal?
I don't say it anyway, just in case.
All right. Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Come on, big week. Big 2 weeks. If we can win these next 3 games before the split, we could be sitting 5 points clear with 5 games left, Southside. It's in our hands.
Right, 100%, and that's where we managed to get ourselves to. So it's just about taking care of the next 3 games and make sure that once the 3 games are finished, that's the position we're in.
Yep. It's as simple as that, Bridge. It's in our hands.
Well, as we've been saying for a long time, biggest game of the season in general, coming up in general speak, then it makes it even bigger. It's because it's against them. Massive game, and the sort of things that's going to happen after it. If we win that game, there'll be hell to pay. There'll be hell to pay for sure.
Southside, we've obviously had semi-finals and finals that we've won and lost in the last few years, but league-wise, because of the way the league's been, it's never really been that close, has it? There's been a couple of big games, if buts and maybes, you can maybe cut a gap. But this is arguably, because of how tight it is, the biggest one for a long time, mate.
Oh, 100%. And let's be honest, our record in games like that hasn't been great, but it's a new regime at the helm, and you guys got us playing good football. He's got us in a good position. He's got fight, heart, and desire put into the team. We've got a structure, and we're winning games, and we've got nothing to fear of, So, it's crucial. You're at home. You need to win. Last time when we had a home game against them with a different manager, it was just atrocious to watch. We just didn't turn up. We didn't have any ambition. Didn't look like it anyway. But it's totally different. So we know what's at stake. This is what we've been waiting for. We know the difference this game makes come Sunday. We know if we win it, where it puts us by the points, and then the Dundee game, let's not be kidded, that midweek and the next game, they two are massive, because you don't want to have any slip-ups, you want to nail them, but you've got to nail this mob first on Sunday, and that's what hopefully Glasgow Rangers will do.
Aye, it's going to be nervy. I think Bridge mentioned it already about the nerves. I actually feel sorry for Mrs. Bridge. I can imagine her life's going to be mud. She'll be more upset. It's a Sunday game. Means she's got to listen to you for a day longer, Bridge.
This is true, by the way. Brilliant. Just brilliant, pal. Well done.
But we're getting there with the team. Players are coming back for fitness. We'll get our 2 creative players, if you like, our number 10s, who were able to spell Southside, who have both had injuries through the whole season. So we've got them, if you like, one for 60 minutes, one for 30 minutes, if that's the way he wants to play it. We've not been able to do that at all this season, Southside.
No, we haven't. Do you know, I think they can still play in the same team at some point. We can have the 2 of them in the team. But we've got that in our locker. Can't we?
But where would you? Who'd you play in the number 10, if you like, in the midfield role? Where would you play the other?
If I was playing Lawrence, I'd probably have stuck him on the right, to be honest. But in saying that, they two can interchange. If Cantwell wants to drift out and Lawrence wants to drift in, they should be moving about anyway. It's about moving about on the park, going and finding space and making space. If you look where Cantwell crossed the ball, he didn't create anything for the number 10 position running through the middle or anything. he went right and ran the channel and crossed the ball in. So, I mean, I'm just saying that there's a chance that you could have the two of them on the park. It doesn't need to be that rigid, but they interchange and move about. They're intelligent football players. So, at
My
some
problem
point,
is if you do two on the pitch, mate, and if Lawrence is on the right, if it was close to what your team was, if you took Scott right out of the team, and I'm not saying I wouldn't, but what I'm saying is we're starting 11. We've not got a lot of pace in it, mate.
I agree with that as well. I get that. But listen, if you play good football and you make the spaces and the runs, I get it. But or else you can have Matondo where, you know, if you put the ball into that channel and space that he's off, and probably if Seaman had been more fitter, he was the same. He was a pacey player. But we've got options, Ox, which is good, and that's the main thing.
That was the point, mate. We didn't have the options. We've not had that. I don't think we've had the options. When Lawrence has been out for quite a bit, chunks, and he's been coming back in the same time Cantwell was out, and we've not had the two of them that much together, Bridge, if we're being honest.
No, that's true. I'm desperate to see Cantwell step on. I think he's a fantastic player. Very exciting. Very, very exciting player. And I thought that some of the guys on the team are starting, you can start to see it. They're starting to build again, you know. They've had a wee lullaby, you know, now they're building again. I'm really keen on this. We're so looking forward to Saturday. Sunday, fabulous, just fantastic. Looking forward to it. It's just great, isn't it? It's just great talking about positive stuff. Marvellous, marvellous.
We're just looking to see how often Todd Cantwell and Tom Lawrence have played together. Just out of curiosity, Southside, you know.
It'll probably only be a lot due to injuries and stuff, wouldn't it? But listen, these players need to step up.
5 times they've started together, mate.
Was it?
5
well,
times.
Todd Cantwell's...
How many times is sub? 18, so Lawrence has maybe come on as 13 times as sub when Cantwell's been on the park. And Cantwell's played 55 games for us, mate. Sort of. Very little minutes, mate. You get it.
Aye. If whoever starts, all 11, but since we're talking about they two need to come to the fore on Sunday. They need to step up and play for us and make sure that they're well in the game and doing the business. Because this is the business end. We know they're good football players, but we can talk about them being good football players, but they've got to go up and produce the goods. So on Sunday, I'm looking for 11 Rangers players to step up, but looking across the front line, whoever he picks, they need to be bang on it. The whole team need to be, but we need to be creating and shooting, because we know their defence isn't good. We know their defence isn't good. It's about us being on the front foot and attacking them and attacking the spaces, and just working hard after the ball. We don't have a lot to fear.
Southside, take their chances.
Listen, they've got players up front, we know, if you give them chances. We've seen it, right? It can hurt us, right? But on the whole, we can't be a bit slack like we were on Sunday, because a few times Hibs were getting into good positions, just didn't have a final ball. So that needs to be tight at the back. But apart from that, and everybody's talking about Lundstrom, give him a contract and all that. Well, it's time for him to step up and play on Sunday. Get on the middle of that part and control the game. That's what we're looking to see him do, Ox.
Fine, mate, fine. I get it. I think that's reasonable. Bridge, you're judged at Rangers in these big, massive games, aren't you?
Oh, yes. And we know what's going to happen the weekend if it doesn't go right for us. We know there's going to be a lot of people unhappy because the pressure is going to build higher. Everybody that I know that speaks about the Rangers are speaking about Rangers very positive, and they expect Rangers to actually do something in this game. And I do too, I must admit. There will be a lot of disappointed people if they don't. And look, I've been at hundreds of them, and the expectation's always there. You want to do it. But the game's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic. Great atmosphere. And if our players kind of lift themselves that wee bit higher, when there's something wrong, get in there and do it.
I am sure we will. But listen, that's the point I'm making, that players are coming back to fitness. I mean, Cantwell, we've had the international break. It looks as if it's done him well, Southside. Hopefully the others who are a bit ring rusty will be even further down the road next week.
Aye. I think looking at Cantwell and listening to him in the past, he's always said he keeps a good level of fitness and all that. He does look as if he's got a bit of fitness about him. He's got the gala streak about him as well. And he's got that unpredictability where he can do something brilliant. I mean, that boy puts across in Saturday. It was genius, right into the area, way pace, just somebody go and meet it. And that's what he can produce. But he has to be more consistent. We need big performances. And probably for now at the end of the season, we're looking for him to be on his game when picked, the same as the rest of the mocks, every single one of them. But we can't wait till Sunday, but well, I know we'll be building up all week to it, but massive game for the league title. And I'm sure it'll be Diamonte's first game against them as well, Ox, if he's selected, which I think he will.
Aye, mate, aye. And that's where my concerns are. I think it's Diamonte's a guy who's got a lot of ability, a great feet, and as you've got to decide if you're going that way. If you go football or if you maybe go endeavour with the blood and guts, it'll be interesting to see what way the manager goes. I think he'll select Diamonte personally. The manager will select him. I'm not saying I went Southside.
I don't think the manager will select him in there. I think he'll select Diamonte. I think he's... Oh, did you? Sorry. Sorry. I think he's a set as well. I think he goes and links the play. He can get up the park. He's creative. He works hard. He battles. And I've no still to see him heading a ball. But apart from that, I think he's staying in the team works. And I think that's why.
I'm not saying he'll be bent. What I'm saying is I think the manager will select him. I'm not saying that I might necessarily.
You probably wouldn't. As you've stated, you'd like to see him in there. I get that. Go in with. Listen, I mean, he's the only my worry about Sterling long term is if you look at the amount of yellow cards he's picked up since he's went into the midfield. He was booked again. He was booked again. I know he went left back eventually, but he was booked again on Saturday. So he's all blood and guts and thunder. I get that, but. I like a football player, Oxen. That football player.
Listen, but I think there's horses for courses.
Mm-hmm.
Old Bobby used to come on, and I think old Bobby. Remember old Bobby Bridge? What a character!
I do. Aye,
old Bobby. And he used to say last season. Yeah, it was last season. He's like, we're doing the wrong thing selecting Tillman for these games. You have to play. It's a different kind of game. And I think looking back, Bobby was right. Southside.
Aye.
He was right, yeah.
I get it. I'm sorry, Bridge. I get it. That you could go in there, do a job, or you'll just go in and stick one on one of them or shut them down and get right in their faces and all that. I get that. But I think the way we play and the way we've watched it, he's the link to getting you up the park, the ball carrier that can get you up the park and go beyond the middle. You see how far he goes up the park when he crosses the ball back at the Benfica game. Like, he wants to get in the box, he can score goals, he showed it. He could go out and freeze on the day. We all know that. You know what happens in these type of games. Sometimes you think players turn up and they don't. They do crazy things. We've all seen it, even the most experienced.
Very experienced people with him will froze, isn't they?
Aye, but you're hoping that he'll know and he'll thrive on it. And we're at home, so it's worth making a gamble. I don't think the manager will think it's a gamble, but it's worth to have him on the park at Ibrox, mate, I believe.
I wonder if his team could be along with Benfica away, but then we'll come to that. But listen, it's a phone-in show. We need you to phone in for this to work. Fox has took time out on his holiday Monday to produce this, and along with Old School Blues, so we need you to phone in 0141 356 1972. Give us your thoughts on Saturday, and we'll also accept your thoughts on a game that's 6 days away, Bridgeman.
6 days away. By the way, it sounds as if it's a long time. And it's only going to whiz through for sure, but at the same time crawl you and stupid. You've got off suspension and all the way up. It gets niggly with yourself and during that. Don't want to talk to anyone. Oh, wait a minute. All the things that matter. That's fantastic. So looking forward to it. And it's marvellous to be in the position that we are, league-wise. And they may think because they're top of the league, everything's okay for them. Sorry. They're in for a rude awakening on Sunday. A rude awakening.
I hope so, Bridge. I hope not.
So you were talking about Sterling. The big Sterling, you were saying you're a bit worried about him at left back. Or anywhere, because he's the big fella, isn't he?
No, it's outside was. I'm saying I would need to find a place for Sterling, me.
Yeah, that's the truth. Looks apart. No taking any nonsense. And was it me? I would say to him, see that wee fella there, Callum McGregor.
I don't know if he'll be playing, mate, in the weekend.
I'm saying that if he's playing.
I don't think he's not played. He didn't play yesterday. I don't follow him too closely. Southside, no. I know you don't either.
Does it matter who they pick? Really, we're at home and it's.
Isn't it?
It shouldn't matter at all.
No, listen, you've got to go out and win the battles, Bridge. That's what we've got today. You've got to go out and win the battle. So that's what needs to be done, and the players will know that. The experienced players, and we've got most of them that will be selected or played against them. So apart from Diamondi, so it's available. So it's just about getting stuck in, play our football, get the ball in the ground, and just make sure they keep the back door shut, and we'll create chances against them, and hopefully we'll score. And that's all that matters. Whether we win 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, doesn't matter. 4 or 5, makes no difference. Just get the 3 points on Sunday, and then we'll take it from there. That puts us back on top of that league, and then lets us go and extend it against Dundee on the Wednesday night, and that'll be an electric night that night. But that'll be another massive game. We've got 3 games that week that are going to be massive, especially Ross County, at 12 o'clock at Dingwall. So, aye. Mm-hmm. 3 games, but we've got to deal with this mob first, and hopefully we will on Sunday. But I'm sure the manager will get stuck into them. He'll have a way of looking at their team and knowing where their weaknesses are. We know in places where they are. Just don't let them play in the midfield and just get stuck in, win the battle, and let's get right on top of them and create. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Aye. Listen, come and join us. 0141 356 1972. Give us your thoughts, your hopes, your aspirations, because we're moved into April. I think many happy returns to Mr. Fox. I forgot that earlier on. Should have said it earlier, shouldn't I? Southside,
Nah, you should have.
You're a shocker.
I'd be interested. And by the way, you make all the planning you want. The way your seasons went, somebody's bound to get injured in training, Bridge.
Don't say that. Don't you say that. But yeah, get it, 100%. That's exactly what happens, isn't it? Sod's law, as I say, sod's law. Don't have no injuries. Please, no injuries. We're all coming back. All the boys are starting to come back. What's the score about Ryan Jack? Is Ryan Jack actually injured?
Aye. I don't know if we'll see Ryan again.
Yeah, it's a good shout.
The manager, he's also looking forward as well. He's got his own players as things develop. Ryan's not been in the team for a while. Pity, but coming to an end. There's 8 league games and 2 games left, 10 games left, and I would think that would be the end of Ryan Jack's Rangers career, Bridge. It's quite sad if he doesn't get on the pitch.
Sorry, can I ask you a question on that? You were saying, is that us? I've got 8 games left.
Aye, 8 league games left.
No, is that Rangers?
Aye, who else?
Okay. No, I didn't know if in general you were saying, look, because that means that, okay, it's fine, no worries.
We've got 8, they've got 7, because we've got a game in hand, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
I know they didn't do arithmetic at St. Pius. Right. Right. When we've got 8 games left, I just come back to Ryan Jack's Southside. I don't know if we'll see him on a part. I would like to think so at some point, but there's no room for sentiment. You go. It's no. That's done. Yeah.
Aye, no, it's finished. He's a long way for fitness, and I'd be lucky if you might get a token place on the bench towards the end of the season if we can wrap the league up a wee bit earlier than what we all anticipate it to go to. You might see him back and maybe get a place on the bench and say a cheerio at one of the games. Brilliant player when he was fit. Don't get me wrong. He was a heartbeat of the team at one point. especially in Gerrard, had him in the midfield. But he's not been seen for a long time, and it's just unfortunate. So it'll be time to thank him for his service and wish him all the best going forward, but it'll probably not be, or shouldn't be, at Glasgow Rangers next year.
No, that ship sailed, mate. That ship sailed. Understood the logic of a 1-year contract. I know some people were saying no. I personally was like, okay, if it's not too hefty, I can see the sense in it. The argument will say it's no work to Bridge, because he's not been fit enough.
Well, I think it's sad because when he first came, I thought he was going to be eventually going to be our captain because he was captain material. And sometimes, even the last time he played, he wasn't that bad for but only 10 minutes or so, And then the silly things start to happen. And he's just not got the fitness. That's all there is to it. He just hasn't got it. And it's sad. But I have to say, I was one of the ones that said, give him the extra year last season. At the end of the season, and I think now, well, not just now, probably 2 or 3 months ago, I thought, I'm sorry I asked it. I'm sorry I said that. I'm sure we could have brought one of the boys in.
He started 5 league games. I think he started 12 in total. It's not enough. But I think, but we digressed. Southside as we always do, but hopefully he goes out celebrating. And if you're right, he gets a cameo to come on as part of the celebrations.
It would be nice to see if we could get himself into some type of fitness that should we get the league wrapped up, that he will make an appearance cameo. He deserves to say his goodbyes, mate. I don't like it. Certain players, you don't mind if they just exit out the door and you don't see them. But listen, when he was fit, he was an integral part of our team. He had a good job he done. He covered for Tav and all that. And Tav used to bomb forward. He could hold the ball midfield. He was a good passer of the ball. Wasn't the quickest player. And unfortunately, a couple of times when he was playing for us, he took some hefty tackles and hefty injuries. One at Partick Thistle for Hull. But Brannigan done him. So out his career, he's had a few hefty sore games. But I think the hip and the knee injury, I think that he's nursed for a while, has obviously been a major problem to him. But he goes with my best wishes, mate. But he can't be taking a paycheck at Glasgow Rangers next year.
There's got to be a few others, isn't there?
Oh, I'm sure we'll be talking about loads of. There's going to be some changes, But I just looked Southside quickly in the last 3 seasons, and we're talking about league games. He started 28. That's the last 3 seasons.
It's never near enough games where you need a return, especially in 3 seasons. Never near it. It just shows you. Probably like you say, you become a better player when you've been out injured for long. You think, oh, wish he was back and that, but he's never really got back to the levels that he was once playing Ox. So he can't be taking a paycheck, mate. We need freshness and we need young players and we need the sort of type of signings that Clement has made the last 2. Somebody like Cortez, idea if we can get him back and sign him, and somebody like Diamondi, and it'll not be Ryan Jack or anybody else like that that's hanging about to take the paycheck for no turning up for us on the park or contributing to the club.
You're always going to get players injured. It's part of the game. It's part of the game. It can be frustrating. It can be a new signing, your star. It can be a young boy you just brought in the team, Bridge. It's hard to legislate for, but listen, I agree with Southside. When he played for us and he was fit, he was integral, but if you actually look back through his whole career, I think there's only once he's got into the 20s in league appearances, mate. Starts. I'm not talking about subs. And that ain't a lot, is it?
No, not enough. Not enough at all, And everybody's said it, and we've heard it during the last couple of seasons as well. People saying about him, and it's sad because he has done some really good stuff for us. He scored a few key goals, particularly big competitor in Europe. But I think we saw Lindstrom come in and he's superseded anything Jack could have done, to be honest, over that period of time. And I'm afraid that, you're right. So his number's up come the end of this season, and they will not be talking about him again. Not in this manner. Better bring back Stephen Davis.
Stephen Davis, what a player. what a man, Stephen Davis. But look, I don't know if he'll influence the running. You never know, Southside. Stranger things have happened there, but I don't see it because of his fitness.
I think he's too long out. Don't get me wrong, if he'd had a good level of fitness, I think Clement would have added him in, but he's miles off it, and with the amount of games to go, we need players. He's trying to get as much fitness into the players that are just coming back to now as he done on Saturday. So I don't think Ryan Jack will make that, but I'd like to see him say a farewell when the league's wrapped up.
I get it. I know what you meant. Well, McCausland come on, Matondo come on, Seema come on, Sterling come on. You know, we brought a lot of pace, and obviously Lawrence come on with a bit of guile. We brought a lot of pace into the team with the substitutes. Do you think that's something the manager could use, Southside, as the season grows to a close? You know, you wait to that 55, 60 minutes, then you bring all the pace on as other teams get bookings and are tired.
Aye, well, it's a good advantage for us that we've got players like that can come on and give you a wee bit of pace or a wee bit of craft and guile, like Lawrence can come on and, like you say, he can create something for the edge of the box. He's good at shooting and that, and you can get yourself in the box. Matondo's got pace. Sterling's big and powerful. If you're going to use him as a substitute impact player, bring them on. And obviously Seema, we're trying to get more fitness into him because he's got pace and power. He's got an eye for goal. And like you say, we've still got the Silver and all who has got a bit about him. So we've got that up front. We've got good options and we've got good intelligent players, but we can't play them all. So it's down to the manager to do his usual jigsaw, but get it correct as normal. My
phone pinged there. Guess who? There used to go. Mention the craft again. Guess who?
Well, I can imagine.
Anyway, I get it, mate. I get it. Substitutes, Bridgeman. It's changed the game, isn't it? You know,
it has indeed, yeah.
You know, if you've been booked or you've got a knock where you used to have to play, you've got half a team to bring on. In fact, it's maybe made the managers more important. They've got bigger decisions and can influence a game arguably more than they ever could in the past.
Yeah, a big chunk of their thought processes, providing once he knows through the week about the injury situation and so on and so forth, he's going to start planning in when can I bring these guys on, will it kind of give them a full half or will I let them start the game, all the things that a manager does, as they should do anyway. And they want to give people time. They've got to give them time, and it's a very, very busy part of the season for Rangers. And crucial as well. And doesn't want to bring people on. It's going to ruin the momentum that people get, the teams gain. So it's a real tough game for the manager to make these decisions, and that's what he does, and he does it very, very well. The great reputation, superb right. Manager for me.
Aye, well, I know you take your BP tablets at 9 o'clock, Bridge, so I think I'll mention it now. Southside, I thought the ref was absolutely atrocious this Saturday.
Aye, he was brutal. I just couldn't understand some of his decisions and bounce balls and whatnot. But no, he wasn't great. I think he refereed the Kilmarnock game. Was that David Dickinson?
Aye.
That's him.
Was that him? Aye, he was poor. He was certainly poor. But nothing unusual there, is it, with referees?
No.
Well, by the way, the big one, he was visiting a wee residence down near the King's Highway, as you wanted it called. You'll know what I'm talking about.
Uh-huh.
He was talking about the craft. He was in there on Saturday before the game.
Oh, was he?
Oh, aye, he was. They let him in, believe it or not.
How wouldn't they?
Yeah. I'll need to warn that doorman about him.
Aye. Bridgeman, referee. Wow.
Well, I think it was mentioned just a minute ago. Any game he measures referees with the Rangers, there's absolutely no way he's going to give Rangers a decision unless we're pulling it out of him. Is absolutely dreadful against Rangers. Absolutely dreadful. And we saw some of the decisions, mysterious decisions, And all of that's, a lot of that's to do with, what I say, a lot of that's to do with, I don't know what it is the managers, these referees have got against their managers or their team. I can't even understand it. Some of those decisions are just, I don't want to say too much, obviously, but it really, truly, it's just heartbreaking. Heartbreaking when you get so many wrong decisions and bad decisions against you. Terrible.
I don't know what the guidance is, Bridge, but the ball's come out. There's been an incident. We've got the ball in the first half. I thought if it hits the referee, it was the team that last touches it, and then gives a drop ball to the Hibs goalkeeper. Now, I don't know if he's adjudged that it was going to a Hibs player, but I don't know if that's the directive. Now, to be fair, Southside, they might have changed it this week. You know what I mean? The way Scottish football changed things. The second one was when Lawrence is running with the ball and the boy is down with the alleged head injury, and then he stops the play, and then the ball goes back to the goalie again. I was baffled by the two decisions.
I heard somebody talking about it today, and they explained it that he was done and he was going to get up, and Hibs lost the ball. We get the ball, we were attacking, and then he fell back down, held his head, and the referees then got to give them the ball back because it's been a head knock in the first instance. But she didn't notice. But when he sees him holding his head later, he thinks that's what the problem is, so he stops the game. That was their take on it, which then, like you say, he gives the ball to Hibs, which at the time I'm thinking, what's he doing? But since it's been explained, or their version of it, that seems to be the ruling.
Look,
but I don't know.
Sorry, Bob, to apologise.
On you go, Bridge.
No, I get heated up with these things. I understand and sympathise greatly with people who do honestly get the head knocks. But there is a number of players in our league that are just using that, just exactly what you said there, without saying all the words, about getting some time, a bit of time off, waste of time, get the possession, take the possession off the Rangers, break up Rangers' momentum, break up their play, and all the things that you can do to waste time or try and do it legally. And that's what that's all about as well. Because some of these people got up and they just walk away and run up, and then they're running. You think, I thought he was injured, you know. Sorry.
What about you had to go up the tunnel and get your head checked for 10 minutes like in rugby?
And go off the park, aye, absolutely.
Because I understand we don't want anybody with a serious head injury in any team. Yeah. However, when people are fearing it, it could do it as a tactic. It could be frustrating. And Southside, I still can't get how we've got the ball and it's up and down, and then we're running through and he stops it there. So that's when he stopped it. And then he gives a bounce ball and gives it back to the goal. I don't get it.
No, I couldn't get it either. The only one I see that took a sorghum was that boy smacked him with the ball for the free kick.
That was we scored 2 brilliant goals. We scored 3 brilliant goals on Saturday night. Arguably, that was the highlight of the game, wasn't it?
I know it was funny to laugh, but it must have been a billion, you know. It was a peach, man.
We took 2 of it, Bridge.
You see, when these things happen, you see the ping pong of the ball. You think, what the hell's going on here? Too quick for my eyes, you know. I love it. I just love it. Hilarious stuff. Not very nice to say that enough, but what the hell?
I mean, you can understand how he stopped it there when the guy's got a billion.
The thing was, they never even seen it because he was running up the park. He didn't even see what happened to the referee. No, because you see him holding his ear, and somebody must have been the fourth official or somebody's telling him what happened. Because as he put the ball down, the ref started to run up the park because he knew they were going to take it. There was
that many drop balls. I think the referee didn't see anything that was happening, mate.
Oh, it was unbelievable. Honestly, that must be the most in one game I've ever witnessed for a long time, because I can't remember as many drop balls as that in the one game box.
We used to start the all 5 or 6 like indoors.
You'd get your sins off each other.
Oh dear, right, get yourself a mute, you two. We're going to have a tune.
Sure, I was dreaming of old Ibrox, of her slopes and great grandstands, and I dreamed about the Rangers, the best team in the land. when my memory suggested of a vision bright and clear of the strange things that would happen if we had the Rangers here. Now if the road to Ibrox Park way up the cycle and Brian Loudrup came from Sandy Road and Alistair Toyce came from East Belfast and old Belfast became then old Glasgow. If the Rangers met the Celtic up at Windsor, sure no green flags at that game they would appear. Ulster's sons would never roll, and all the boys would stay at home if we only had the Rangers over here. I dreamed about her Ulster man who wore the shirt of blue, Bertie Manders and Sam English, Norrie Hamilton, McCandless too. I have dreamed of Whitey MacDonald, who came from Lisburn town, and the greatest Billy Simpson, who never let them down. Now if the road to Ibrox Park way up the Shankill and Brian Loudrup came from Sandy Road and Ali McCoyce came from East Belfast and then old Belfast became old Glasgow. Met the Celtic up at Windsor, then no green flags at that game they would appear. Ulster's sons would never roam, all the boys would stay at home if we only had the Rangers over here. If we only had Glasgow Rangers over here.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
So I said, I don't think we'll be able to play that version again because the Bridgeman will be looking for loyalties.
I know it sounded like it. Fabulous Bobby Parks.
Aye, that's a good version. I like that one.
Right.
Aye, quite good. Right, so as I said, we need you to phone in 0141 356 1972. It's as simple as that. It's your show. It's your platform, as the advert says, and we'll get the voice of an angel back with us. Bridgeman.
Oh, voice of an angel. How's that?
You can tell him Southside.
See, next time you go off, hit your mute button.
I was on mute. Oh, did you put me on mute? Oh, sorry. Did you not like me singing? Oh, for God's sake, I'm rubbish.
Oh, you could do a request tonight. Somebody phones in and you might want to sing him a song, Bridge.
Oh, we've done that before, haven't we?
You're not quite the man that used to sing down by on a Sunday, Bridge.
Well, that's for sure. That's for sure. That's for sure.
But you can still hold the tune, mate. You can still hold the tune.
Remember when we were going to Baku? Remember that one?
Rangers, you liked that one.
We're on our way. We're on our way.
I think the Magic Cat was your favourite, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Just brilliant. The guy, I thought he was brilliant. I liked him. And then he did the dirty on us. What can you say?
I think he regrets it, Bridge, when you see these interviews, but that's another story.
Well, I think there's a few people left Rangers and regret it, bitterly regret it. And I'm thinking in particular that young boy, Ryan Kent, he should never have left Ibrox. Somebody should have spoke to him. Get your head together and just play football, son. I know the end here. And that's the truth.
It's quite strange. When you look back, if you look back at some of the fabulous players we've had, and it's a great point Bridge makes outside, when they have left Ibrox, there's no many. Giovanni, his career, Arsenal, Barcelona, World Cup final, you can't take it away from him. There's no many who have went to the next level.
Reno Gattuso, probably.
Gattuso, good shout, mate. Aye. I'm trying to think, but there's no many.
Arteta was obviously only up there.
Aye, Arteta wasn't away as long as he went.
No.
He rose to the heights. Obviously had a great career with Arsenal, Everton, and it's successful, wasn't he?
Aye, he was a lot younger at the time as well, didn't he? But he always said he appreciated playing at Rangers, and he seen the type of football and it made him into the type of player that he went on to become. He said it certainly helped him in his grounding and schooling when he was at Rangers, He was a talented player. You could see he was talented, Arteta, I know.
Aye, and he's not changed much, has he?
No, not at all. But there's a lot of them day when they go, they probably think at times they're going for better. But a lot of them probably regret it when they leave. They're not getting the same challenge. All right, the league's no good. We get that. The weather's no good. We get that and all. But it's competitive. You have to go out and win. It's an institution you're playing for. It's a club that doesn't want to accept second best. So it's all about winning. You get that mentality. And I remember Barry saying it ages ago when he went to Blackburn way back. He said they were happy to draw. He says, I'm annoyed because we've drew. Or I've had a defeat and I know that bother because they're still sitting pretty far up the league. You don't get the same intensity. You don't get the same demands put on you. So, we don't play in a great league, but you play for a magnificent football club that demands success, and that's what you've got to get, and that's what players, when they come up here, they've got to learn the demands that you've got to win every week and every game's a cup final. Because you don't get that. When Aribo came up, for instance, when he was kicking about at Charlton Ox, he didn't come up and get the demands put on him that he got when he came up to Glasgow Rangers.
No.
And he did leave, okay, he left for decent money, but he'd struggled for a long time down in England. And I've said to you on here, and I don't follow them when they leave Rangers, really. I don't. If I see them on the telly or they appear, I'll go all right. But I'm not interested in what they do once they leave. It's not my concern. My only concern is when they're here, they do the best they can and they be successful. And if they move on, fine. But I don't follow them ever.
Aye, someone will go with your best wishes. I'm just trying to think now, and anybody else that's been successful. Maybe True Guy, who was really consistent with Blackburn Rovers. But, he was he didn't, but aye.
Big Dunk, done all right, didn't he?
Big Dunk, what a liberty, mate. Duncan Ferguson, what happened to him? When he was playing for our club. You think all the things that's been on in football and all the hideous crimes that have happened in Man Stadium, and then Dunk, because of a wee disagreement with somebody on the football park. Jeez, come on. Yeah. Ridiculous.
Scandalous.
Oh, it was shocking. Absolutely.
I think the only player ever to get banned sin die was a Rangers player. The only player that's ever been jailed for something happening on the football field is a Rangers player. We wonder, are they out to get us?
Makes you think, Southside, doesn't it?
Aye, I heard.
Did you like Willie Woodburn, Southside? See one of you?
I've seen him in pictures. That's as far as I've seen. But Bridge is a man for Willie Woodburn, as you know.
I don't even know. That might have just been before Bridge's time and all.
It was just only a young boy.
Just. You're good when you've got your own song, but Bridge.
Yes, indeed. I liked all the old ones, I've seen a lot of the guys when I used to go and see the Clyde. I lived just down the main street by Shawfield, and my granddad used to come and take me, as a wee kid. We go to the game, and obviously I don't know a lot of them, but the great Tommy Ring, Archie Robertson all played for the Clyde, and I'm afraid that I remember some of the Celtic players as well, Betty Peacock and Charlie Tully. They were playing. Man, by the way, they were really good players. Paddy Collins, I think, was on as well. So, brilliant.
Aye, Duncan Ferguson, the Liberty, but I'm telling you, it was, what a tragedy. I don't know how good he would have been for the South Side, but he had it all, didn't he? He was good in the deck. He wouldn't be missed about it.
Aye. He was good in the deck. That was the thing for being. I mean, they didn't think you had to fling the high ball into him all the time. Aye, he was a good asset in the air. Of course, he was set pieces and that. But he could play. He could hold the ball up. He was physical. And just what happened to him just killed his career at Glasgow Rangers, didn't it? But he had done well at Everton and done well at Newcastle. Made a living out the game. And you certainly wouldn't want to break into his house either. So.
No, only Roberts wanted the big doorbells inside the house.
I love it.
Anyway, we've been joined by the windy cleaning kid, Davy. Evening, David.
Evening, Ox. How you doing? Southside.
How you doing, Davy?
Aye, good to hear you. Aye, let's just listen earlier on. It's something we've been talking about, some of the decisions. What is worrying me, I think, this is just my opinion, guys. I've spoken to a lot of people regarding that kind of predicament. And I know at least there are 5 people who have told me that they're not going to go back. It's putting them up at there because the decisions are so inconclusive. I mean, that penalty retake, there's no way that was conclusive. And that's got to be totally, if he's no, or any of them are making the decisions, if it's not 100% conclusive, they can't change that decision. And that's what's sort of pissing people off. And
strong language for David. Listen, we'll get the 2 people on the night who know about reasonable doubt. Who wants to go first? Bridgeman.
I'll hide.
You've put me off the after that one. Davey, listen, see, real time at the game, had no idea, right? You could see them as players at the edge of the 18-yard box. It's no effect to the game in the long run. I'll say one thing about VAR. It probably works. It just doesn't. It's who's implementing it and what the decisions the referees are making. And as you know, some of them.
What about the time? I mean, that decision took.
Yeah.
Aye. And the longer it takes, then you think, well, you must be looking for something now because it's not clear and obvious. Or you'd have just said straight away, look, you're offside, he's encroached in the box, there's nobody else actually in the box. They might be leaning towards the area and in it, but neither their feet, because we've checked this line and there's nobody actually got a foot or a toe or anything in that box apart from Scott Wright. That's what they're saying. But he ran for deep, Davy. And as I said, I just thought it would have been retaken. See, once they stopped it, I thought, there's been encroachment in the box for Hibs and Rangers. Or Hibs, I thought at first. But seemingly if Hibs only encroach, then you don't need to retake it if you score.
Yeah.
But it's mental rulings, Davey, innit? And it just shows you the farcical point that they waited all that time to eventually come to a decision and say, no goal.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, what I'm meaning... Sorry.
Is it the time factor that's annoying you? It's taking too long.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's inconclusive.
It's your time of life. You're worrying you know free the outcome.
No, it's just, I'll tell you one thing. See if that hate crime law had been implemented on Saturday, half that part would be in the nick in there. Because that's just going to create mayhem. It's got to be conclusive. That's all I'm saying. That was not conclusive.
I get your point, mate. Taking too long. The people on the ground don't know what's happening.
Exactly.
Bridgeman.
What was that? Upstairs, I heard Davey saying something there. Did I miss it?
Well, Bridgeman, what happens on this show? I know you're new to it. People phone in, they make comments, and you're a panelist. You answer it.
Yes,
So,
I couldn't hear Davey. I'm trying to say. I didn't know what Davey says.
he said it takes too long, and
Yes,
it
yes,
too
okay,
long,
okay.
and
I'm
the
with
people
you.
in the stadium don't know what's happening.
That's well. We mentioned that a wee bit earlier as well. That I'm mystified as to why they don't. They're making these decisions, and then it's a cut and dried, and away you go. And there's nothing ever said about it afterwards. No, even in the press, nothing. What's the decision? Shows the decision. Like we'll buy into it. If it's right, we'll buy into it. We're not going to blame anyone. If it's right, obviously there's sometimes you know a genuine disagreement about certain things because it's aye. You see it slightly that way. The other guy says that. So you come to an agreement and say aye. But in this case, you're not even seeing it. So the referee is given a penalty, given the goal because they missed the penalty and Scott Wright come in. And all of a sudden, VAR jumped in, which is the thing I want that VAR to do. Jump in, but please explain it. Get the thing up, big screens at some of these grounds, particularly Ibrox. Get it up on these screens and shows these lines that shows that boy walking into encroaching. That's all you're looking for. Once you see that, brilliant.
Well said, Bridge.
Davey, is it the system? Is it VAR itself, or the way we're implementing it with the time it's taking? I mean, that was about 2 or 3 minutes, or maybe longer, and then it gets sent to the screen. How can they not say, we think there's a penalty there, go and check it out? How long does that take, Davey?
No, you're spot on. Everybody's correct on this issue, but I think Bridge sort of tidied up what I was talking about there at the end of his conversation. Is that there should be something that comes up. If they can see that the line where he's encroaching, that should be on a screen, and it'll let the people know. They're not left waiting for 7 minutes extra time to find out when they get home. Is he encroaching, as you know?
Big Fox has got a thing where the fourth official could be mic'd up to the PA system and clicks in like they do in America. But
There you go, absolutely.
Potential check for offside. Everybody knows it. Yeah.
Aye.
Yeah.
Makes it simpler, doesn't it?
Aye, it comes up.
And that made me laugh. See when Scott Wright scores the goal.
Aye.
The guy in the match day that tells you who scores and all that, does the match day show. He says James Tavernier scored the penalty.
Aye, I heard that. I'm glad you mentioned James Tavernier. We mentioned him briefly at the start of the show. Well, some people know liked him. Mr. Fox, he adores him, and his from day one. And I'm more swung to Mr. Fox's way, which is unusual for me. The guy has just been phenomenal for us. Southside, Davey, then the Bridge. James Henry Tavernier.
Aye, listen, he's been a fantastic player. He got criticised, and I've criticised him myself on many occasions at certain times because he has made a few major mistakes. But when you look at the time that he's been at the club, what we've asked him to do, he had to bomb forward all the time, put the crosses in. That's the way we played. So he was up and down the park. He was an engine in a machine for many a season there, doing that. Once for Warburton going forward, they had him playing on that side. Started scoring the odd free kick back then as well, if you remember, Ox. And he's just continued on. Turned up in big games, European, UEFA Europa League top goal scorer. He's now the best highest goal scoring defender in Britain. So we've been harsh on him at times. I was delighted that it was him that was going to lift 55 when we won it, because I thought he deserved to lift it. And I'm hoping that he'll get to lift another trophy or two trophies before the end of the season. He deserves it. And for what we paid for him and what he's produced for the club, it was money well spent, was it no?
If he drives his own to this league title, mate, and obviously he'll only have won 2 league titles, next year, where he stays with the club or whatever, he'll have won everything he can. He won in Scotland. He'll have won a medal. He scored the winner in the cup final because he got the winner. Forget that against Aberdeen. He got the winner. His goals in Europe have just been phenomenal. Is he the greatest defender I've ever seen? No, he's not. Without a doubt, no. But his record as a player and he's inspirational to the team, and what he's done at times has just been phenomenal. David in the bridge.
Oh, you couldn't say it any better myself. That's what you've just said. But I think he got a lot of unfair criticism. But I think a lot of that came at a time where, if you look at the times that he was getting criticised for that side of where the goals were coming through, he was playing in a team that were all getting criticised. But he was just getting it because a lot of his goals that conceded were coming through that side of the park. But he's rammed all the words down their throats. And I'm going to say that the same as Suicide. I did criticise him. But I take my cap off to the guy. He's proved everybody who doubted him that they didn't know what they were talking about. And I'm one of them.
So for all the doubters, Fox was right and they were wrong, Bridgeman.
Yeah, Fox has definitely been right, for sure. And people like myself, I doubt him insofar as his defensive side of things. And of course, sometimes we see him doing amazing things. And when he's up the park, he's really dangerous. And all the defensive teams are trying to double up on him and things like that. But one of the big problems he's got is if he gets caught up the park, there's absolutely no way he's going to get back. And he's not the fleetest of foot. But he's not going to get back. And that's my big criticism for him. I love him when he's up there, and I love what he does. And he scores a lot of goals for us and creates a lot of chances. His number of assists is incredible. So I just don't like it when he loses the ball up there and he just can't get back. But that happens to a lot of our midfielders as well. When they're up there, they're bombing forward, even the Connor Goldsons and in the present moment Suter, and they try a pass and it doesn't come off. And then they're left because they ain't the fleetest of foot either. And if they've got decent midfield or forwards, they run right past them. So that's my only problem with that. And Tavernier, Davy's right. And a lot of goals have been, shall we say, the fullback's fault, either left or right. It doesn't matter which. When the ball goes in, always the fullback. To me, fullback's to blame if he's not his post. To tell him to some purposes. So if he's up the park, too bad.
I think if you put, I get it, Bridge, and I think the game's changed slightly. I think south side if Tavernier's been told by the manager that he's to get forward, then he gets forward, and then somebody houses it up the park. If it goes to his position and he's not there, he'll never keep up with the ball. I don't think he'll get blamed by the manager.
No.
If you're setting up your team and he's told to sit in, and then he's meant to be there, and he's that becomes a different thing, mate.
It's like anything. I mean, I know we sort of try and cover, but when he's taking corners and stuff, then there's a big gap in the right back position because he's not there. If he's in the middle of the park and about the edge of the box where he can strike, or if you want to fling him in the area because he can leap and score with the head, we've seen it. I think he'd be more dangerous in the box and let somebody else book some certain corners in because the corners have been poor. But we used him as a flying winger. Let's not be kidded. He's been beat easy at times with good wingers. They've just skipped by him. His defending's not always been great. He's had a couple of howlers in Europe where he cost a couple of goals a couple of years back in a away game in Europe. But then again, you look what he's done. I mean, he steps up in games where it goes into the group stages and that by scoring the goals that matter. And look what he did on the Europa League run. We've all criticised him at times, but I think he's got better since Clement's come in. I don't think we're as open on the right-hand side flank as much as we had been in the past because he's gave him a newer role, and he's still contributing, and he's still delivering, and he's still delivering the numbers. And we'll probably not realise till he leaves and he's retired how much we probably will miss his goals and assists at times because he stepped up again. And Saturday missed the penalty and then scores as a first goal. It gets us going. and that's just Tavernier. But some of his goals and all have been amazing all through the years. Dundee United away, that free kick in St Johnstone a couple of years back when we were drawing, and he smashed one for 25 yards right where Xander Clark. So he's had massive goals.
I think he's
Petrofat Cup.
Petrofat Cup. If that was Zidane in the European final, you might have seen it once or twice.
Oh yeah, we've seen it forever. Absolutely wonderful goal. I was sitting beside Foxy. Incredible stuff.
Fox was away for a fag at the time. He missed that. Let's be honest.
Fox, can I come in on that?
No, you can't. You know why?
Oh, I know somebody's coming in.
Right, we've been joined by Kirky. I'll come back to you, David. Evening, Kirky.
Aye, never.
Good evening, Oxford. Southside, County.
What's on your mind?
It's just about that penalty and that. Like, a lot of folk never actually noticed where the goalkeeper was. He wasn't standing on his line when Tavernier made contact with that boy. He was actually in front of his line, so it's been retaken anyway. But it was all because of the encroachment, which I think was wrong as well, to be quite honest. But if you watch TV Marshall, he jumped forward before Tavernier makes contact with the ball. So, I mean, that should have been picked up by the linesman anyway. So.
Or VAR as well. Or VAR.
That should have been, yes.
Good point, mate. Good point. Davey, you come back in with your point, then I'll take Kirky's run the panel.
Aye, it was just a wee bit earlier when the earlier conversation about when you were mentioning how we lost the goal. And it went to this player to that player. And I remember you talking about the name and all the players. Can you tell me, or yourself, where was Barisic?
He took the corner kick.
That's not an excuse. He was nowhere. Even when he got back, he doesn't matter, man. He ball watches everybody.
I don't know whether I can maybe blame Barisic for that one. He took the corner kick, he went to deal Mandy, the ball got played. No, was it a corner? Couldn't have been, because all the defenders were part. Good point, David. I'll need to check that one. Could have been a corner outside, because all the centre backs were.
The Mandy had Borner had actually played the ball into him and made the run, and when he gave it, we lost it, David. But Lundstrom, look at the state of him trying to get back.
Oh yeah, I agree with you. I just think Barisic, you're talking about dragging buses and caterers. I just don't. That guy couldn't mark a bookie. He couldn't mark your Super 6.
Don't talk about that, David. Don't talk about that. One of the worst performances of the season at the weekend. And that was after a tremendous comeback and early kick-off.
Well, of course, it was 3 draws. 3 wins, 3 draws.
Any beat?
Aye, 3 of them.
I get your point about Barisic. I knew I've got it. Diamondi tried to slide it in. Barisic made the run. He tried to put it between 2 defenders, mate. To be fair, as soon as he kicks up the ball, you'll never keep up with the ball, Bridgeman, will you? It's broke away. No. And the only one I can't blame for that is Barisic, if I'm being honest, Davey. Yeah?
No, I'm not blaming him, man. I'm not saying he's blaming him. I'm just saying, where is he at times?
You try to make a run for Diamondi, who tried to split the boys inside left channel, played it right to the boy, bang up the park, bang, down the left-hand side of the park, and then into the box and goal. Kirky, the penalties left us all baffled, mate. I'm trying to see if I can see it again, mate. Yeah, I'm trying to just check it out again. But the whole thing about VAR, it's becoming frustrating, eh?
Oh, it's beyond a joke. I mean, that referee and Saturday was the worst referee I've seen in all my time. I've watched football, to be quite honest. You think he's just a boy learning, let alone being a great
What's what you're saying, Kirky? There's new laws on.
I'm only telling the truth, mate.
I know.
It goes for nothing.
Yeah, I think the game was too big for him, to be quite honest.
I don't think he was great. And I don't think he was great the last time he refereed the South Side down at Kilmarnock.
No, he wasn't. No, he had a bad game that time and all. There isn't many good referees out there, to be honest. You know, as I said earlier, Kirk, I don't know if you heard, many bounce balls to be seen that game. You know, it's the most I've seen, I think, in a long time. I can't even think. It must have been at least 6 times or something in one game. You know,
I think it's in basketball, I think.
But listen, at the end of the day, we got the job done. That was the most important thing on Saturday, was to go out and get the job done. And it's now all focused on Sunday, and it's out all guns blazing, man. Just get stuck right into them, because they're not as good as they think.
What you're noticing, Kirky, what we're saying is we're trying to be constructive toward the referee and try and build up. No, we're not saying he's incompetent, we're just saying he had a bad game.
It's a very poor game, that's right.
Aye, and we don't wait till we lose 2-0 before we spit the dummy out. We put the construction out there when we won 3-1, David.
100% true, mate.
David?
I just think there's far too many laws being brought out to interpret this, how the decisions are made. And I think they get a bit baffled.
Are you telling me, David, you don't know the rules of football anymore?
I certainly don't. No, I know the way they're getting implemented. No, I don't.
That's you and me both, mate. Southside.
Aye, and even the players. So I've heard some players saying that they struggle to work out the rules and all, even though things get explained a bit. And Clement talks about that as well. He's got to instruct the players and he's got to know the rules. But listen, Davey, hopefully going forward we'll not have many more decisions like this to deal with. If we score a goal, it'll be a legit goal. It'll not be an issue. But we just want them to get decisions right. And if they're right and they go against us, you can accept it. But like I said, at the game, I had no idea why it was chopped off when Scott Wright scored. And you sit there frustrated until somebody checks their phone or somebody can find something out.
Yeah. I think it should be like the referees should be able to do an interview at the end of the game to the media. They'll know, the hierarchy will know go for that, because that's just, they'll say that's intimidating against the referees.
Funny enough, I don't, Davey. I really don't. Yeah.
Aye, carry on.
I'll tell you why. I think, well, you can't have a game of football without the referee. And I just think it's an easy target to blame a ref. And you can see if it's somebody had a good or bad game. And the boy Dickinson's maybe starting his career and somebody takes him aside and says, by the way, you had a shocker at Ibrox, right? And here's when you go through it with him, you've got to build. You go in the media, mate, they'll get ridiculed, mate. They'll get ridiculed, and I don't think that's personal, my personal account. A good referee should be seen back in his motor on the way home, because the game's about players. And if he gets the decision right, it's meant to be aided with VAR, with the clear and obvious errors that somebody misses at a game and you have to get pulled back because of VAR. Refereeing should be easier in some respects, but they've made it. They're not using it as a tool to help the referees. Because I don't, if you stop getting people to take up the cudgel to be referees, you'll know of a game of football at any level.
Yeah, I know that, Ox, but I don't think, I'm not meaning everybody should sit there and fire questions at them. I'm just meaning there should have one person that just say, look, here's some points, can you clarify it? That's all. You just want clarification. That would go a long way. Saying to everybody, well, at least the guy's explained himself.
I think maybe an explanation as time goes out, particularly to the team and the clubs, is always something that happened to a certain degree, but the media, I don't know, maybe it's just me, Southside, maybe I've got it wrong, and then Bridge can come in.
Well, listen, at the game, Davey, I thought he get smashed, right, and I thought it was a penalty, although the ref never blew. So he obviously never noticed it. And then, like you say, VAR kicked in and showed him and gave it his attention, and he looks at it and says, right, I missed that, that's a penalty. Fair enough, you know. But how they explain it and all that going forward, I don't know. I agree with Ox to a point. I think if you do bring your refs out, they don't do it in England, and they're full time, aren't they, down there? And they don't come out and do it like that, so I don't see us doing it up here. But I think you need to get something going forward where maybe, like you agree, the fourth official could explain the decision, once we know, if it's not getting shown on the screen, unless it's something that you're unsure about, we're all going, what was that for? Like Saturday was a prime example. If it's more clear and obvious and you go, well, we know why he's disallowed it because he's offside and that must be a decision and we could all see it. But going forward, Davey, aye. But when that ever happens, when does Scottish football ever go forward, mate?
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but it's inconclusive. It's the same at rugby. If he tries to get that ball out of the line and they can't see where the ball is, it's inconclusive. So it goes back to a scrum or whatever. So that, to me, should have been the same. No, scrum, but that should have been the same with that decision anyway. If it's not 100% clear, it should have been allowed. That's just a point I'm making, guys.
Davey, can I just add a wee bit to that? What you said there, the confusion on the penalty thing, where it was Scott Wright. If it's inconclusive and unclear, the referee has already said, he never saw anything to almost like the test of purposes, but VAR has got the tools. That's what I'm led to believe. They've got the tools to come up with the proper decisions. We don't know what the proper decision is. They could be just, they could just say that, it was encroaching. We want to see it. We really do need to see it. All the crowds need to see it. Unfortunately, there's some grounds that they can't afford to have VAR in there. But really and truly, we need to get our act together, particularly with the referees. This needs to be seen. And every decision, they don't just overlook all the decisions or any decision. If they look at something, they must give us a decision and tell us why. That's so. The same with the penalty when the boy Johnson pushed the ball across the goal line when arguing with Big Dessers, I think it was. That was it. To me, it was a penalty. Now they may have had other ideas, but they never told you. The first thing we heard was, you would have known about it. You would have known about it because we would have picked it up. Well, I'm sorry, no. Give us a reason why that is. Willie Collum just made that decision himself. That's all. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
I think there's a chance to improve the game, Davey. I think there's a chance, mate. If you get it right with that. If you have the explanations like you get with rugby, and then everybody knows, then it's all. If you like, the penalty decision becomes it's back to if somebody thinks it's a penalty and somebody thinks it's no. VAR will never ever take that out because all they're saying is have a look at it. It's up to the person to give it or not give it. The game's no changed. My problem is that the people in the stadium don't know what's happening, and they should be told what's happening, and there should be some way of improving that. And then if you know that the decisions are transparent. And you can hear the conversations. Nobody's getting to hide unless you've got something to hide, Davey.
Oh, that you're spot on. You've just told the story. That's what I'm trying to say. But hopefully through time, this will be picked up on. Because if you look at the difference, I'm making comparisons. If you look at the decisions at the rugby and look at our decisions, they're miles away in front of us. Regarding that. Now we should be adapting that as well. So hopefully they'll maybe pick up on it. But we all know what we're fighting against here. The powers of above in Scottish football are a disgrace, and we all know that.
Right.
So until that changes, nothing else will change.
Kirky, are you looking forward to the next 2 weeks?
Certainly am, yes. Certainly looking forward to Sunday anyway. And everything else will take care of itself after that. So.
Aye. Brigman would say the next game's the biggest game of the season. This time, he would be a million times right.
It's nobody open right enough.
I mean, I was a referee for 5 years. I don't know what refereeing's like. But, I was only amateur referee, so I had no linesman or anything. And the SFA said to me, you're lucky ever get 20% right of all your decisions because you've no linesman. I've obviously got VAR now, so but you don't like being wrong. I mean, sometimes I went home at night, Kenneth had a bad game, I threw the bag in, I'm never refereeing again. But the time Saturday came, I was back refereeing again. But I can't how hard it is to be a referee. You can't please. You're only pleasing 50% of the folk at once. Doesn't matter what decision you give to hand. So, I mean, it's a hard thing for a referee. You're always wrong. No matter if you're right or wrong, you're always wrong. So, but, I mean, the VAR should be helping the referees and doing things a lot quicker. I mean, they've got a screen in front of them. A referee can only see. I found when I was refereeing, I watched the game, but you had to watch people around about you as well in case somebody punched somebody or something. There's nobody to help you, so it's a hard thing to do, refereeing. Like, so.
See when
today for them, and I had to learn. And I went through some hard times when I was going up through the leagues with the refereeing, but you just got to think, right? You're best. You can what you've seen, and you stick by it. But none of the referees, I think, are scared to do that because of that. They don't want to be wrong.
Turkey, I think, set me up one side.
Well.
Turkey, I think you set me up in one game.
You know why he set him off, Southside?
I'll tell you something, if I set you off, mate, it must be a badger, because I refereed the same way the ball.
Outside, he sent him off for impersonating a football player.
Yeah, I was a good football player.
Oh, we know all about you, mate. We know more about you. You wouldn't have made a back for a waistcoat.
No, I was a Bobby Shearer. When I went hit you, you went back here and you went 14 feet up in the air. You never came down for a week.
You always said a soft landing. You landed in these wallets, Southside.
Would you get away with that, do it, Davey, would you?
No, that's what's... Well, I'm not saying that's what's missing, but it's too much simulating and diving about. They should be getting yellow cards for all that. They're too lenient. And then you're getting these ones rolling about, holding them up, saying they're hurt. Again, it's at a different level now, Suicide.
There was a dive a couple of weeks ago in the Scotland-Holland game. A Holland player dived.
Aye.
It should have been a yellow card. That should have been a red card. It was that bad. Anyway, we've been joined by William. Evening, William.
Evening, brothers. Somebody talk about referees.
No, we've got a ref. We don't need you, mate. We don't need you. We've got one. You can run the leg.
You're saying half, William. You're saying half.
We've got Turkey.
I'm a supervisor, eh? Hey, I'm a supervisor, remember.
Right. Well, give us your thoughts on that at the weekend.
Can I say to Southside, first of all, there are no full-time referees down in England. Don't think there is not. They've all got jobs like police officers, bank managers, accountants, university lecturers.
Premier League, but talk about.
Premier, I'm telling you, there's no full-time referees. They've all still got their jobs. They only need to be available 2 days a month.
It's six-figure salaries, mate. It's a different ball game down there, mate.
Aye. Well, they're getting the big money, but they only need to be available 2 days a month, apart from their match days. So they've all still got their big jobs in the police, bank managers, accountants, etc., etc.
So they're
not full-time referees. They're absolutely not.
Carry on. Your thoughts on Saturday? Well, we'll check out your ranking.
Saturday, well, I was happy with the team. Apart from Barisic, I have to say overall, happy with the team performance. No, we're best. We could play better, but we contained Hibs quite easily and never looked like losing. We scored 3 great goals. The goal we gave away was a wee bit sloppy, but I was happy and was confident we were going to get the points. The referee, I felt he single-handedly rewrote the laws of the game. I don't know what he was doing. I couldn't understand what he was doing. It seems to be, I don't know if they're changing the rules every week and they're not telling anybody, because I just couldn't identify what he was doing at all. At the penalty, when Tavernier takes the penalty, what happens with the VAR? They've got the technology. They can freeze that right down to a single frame. So they look at that when Tavernier plays the ball. They freeze it there and they look round about the 18-yard, round about the penalty area, and you could see there was 3 or 4 players in the area. So the penalty should have been retaken, as far as I'm concerned. Because you've got Hibs players in, you've got Scott Wright in. I think there's 3 Hibs players in the area. I've looked at this upside down. I've froze it right down to that, just as Tav touches the ball. Plus, as Kirky said, the goalkeeper is off the line. You see, if you're behind the line, if you're behind the net, camera from behind the net, you can see the goalkeeper, both feet are off the line. So the penalty should have been retaken. So I don't know what he was thinking about how he restarted that game. Chopped off the goal and restarted the game. Okay, chop off the goal.
Kirky, do you know, Bully, I'm all right with the referee missing the guy just moving slightly early, because that happens. That's a fraction of a second as the guy takes a kick and all that. But when you're using VAR, that's when that should come in and say, by the way, that's not right. Yeah,
that's it. Oh, that's what I'm saying. They freeze it. They freeze that picture just as Tav touches the ball, and then they look round about and see what's happening, and they make the decision for there. And they took long enough to do it, and they got the wrong decision. And the one near the end, where their man was down, supposed to be a head injury, and we're on the attack. We play the ball into their penalty area. He stops the game, and he restarts with their goalkeeper. I don't understand that. I don't know where he got that idea.
I think he baffled us. Look, everybody knows to be a referee, you've obviously not done very well at school, Southside. But Wally and Kirky are trying to gain valid points, and we're trying to be constructive. But that one, it baffled us, didn't it? It baffled us.
Aye, the idea, like I said, it's if you can get explained in the games, it helps. But well, at the end of the day, we got the result. It wasn't a great refereeing performance, but we managed to score 3 good goals, and we lost technically a bad goal. Let's not be kidded. We looked a wee bit open at times at the back, but Hibs didn't cause the threat where they had a shot at goal. But we were open at times in spaces, which you'll need to make sure isn't like that next come Sunday and got on the next 3 games basically. But apart from that, listen, we're in a good place. We've got good options. We've got players there. We've been playing well. Nothing to fear on Sunday, mate. We just hope that the referee will not be talked about next week, and it'll just be talking about us, our famous Glasgow Rangers, winning at the end of the day in a good performance. Hopefully the referee will not be involved in anything.
Well, if we get one like we got at the last Stormfirm game, I don't see the referee getting out alive. I really don't.
Well, again, there was some shockers there, but we've won the game on Saturday. We've won the game on Saturday, Kirky, and we're asking the questions because we don't understand. We're not saying the big decisions the referee got wrong. If you pointed out that goal, I've still not seen it. I'm trying to see it, but by the way, I've looked for the highlights, and the BBC Scotland highlights don't even show you the penalty incident at the moment. I'll need to see if I can find it, but I'll just do it look because I've missed it. All we're saying is we're not blaming the referee for saying missing that when the goalkeeper is slightly moved forward. All we're saying if VAR's involved, how does that not pick it up? Is that fair, Kirky?
That's fair. That's what it's there for. Can the referee can't watch a box and watch the goal line at the same time, then there's the 18-yard line and the goal line at the same time? It's impossible. So that's what VAR there for. VAR's there to stop to help the referees see these things. I mean, the length of time it took is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, that year, even the box, that boy line and the Hibs boy went down in the box. So that's showing a drop ball at Rangers outside 18-yard box.
Just let you know, I've just looked at the Premier League, some of their stuff, mate, and it says that their top 20 referees are full-time, mate. And the minimum salary is 70 grand, and it can rise to over 100. No, it's not a lot to Bridgeman or Southside, but decent money to Davy.
Very good.
See if you look online, it'll tell you their occupations.
It doesn't any more, mate.
Well,
must be paying some tax.
They all refuse to pack in their jobs because you can make
I'm not saying,
you can make a few bad mistakes as a referee in English Premier League, and then you're bombed out.
You can have a second job. I'm not saying people haven't got a second job. All I'm saying is that some of the stuff I've read, it says Premier League refs are full time, whereas they're part time. And I'm sure they're not making that dough in Scotland, South Side.
No, if they were, would have Merty moan about if they were getting paid that amount. Listen, VAR will work to a point. We've seen them have some horrendous decisions down in England, but on the whole, a lot of them have been no bad and they're quite quick. They have time to take a while, but some of the decisions, I've watched the odd game here and there, they've overruled it pretty quickly. Europe's the one that's different as well when you talk about handballs. They implement them different from what they do in England and what we do up here at certain points, but they've got to get it right, and it's the guys that sometimes on the park making bad decisions that's in the VAR room. But I just think at all times the referee, if it's something they want to go and look at, he's got to make the decision. Something like you said earlier, like Willie Collum make the decision against him up there, that should never have happened. They should have said to Walsh, there's a handball incident, go and look at it. You've got to let the referee make the decision. He's a guy that's on the park, controlling the players. So it should always be him, I think, that makes the decision and nobody in the VAR room.
They're saying that it can be a part-time job in some of the places when you read on, that the majority of the top 20 are full-time. So it sort of contradicts myself a wee bit there, Wally, yeah.
Well, I'm saying it's full-time money, but they're not there 5 days a week. And that's full-time.
They've got to, no, I'm not saying that at all. They've got to meet certain fitness standards, etc. because they're... That's
right.
Aye.
2 days a month, Ox. 1 day is for the fitness, and the other day is they get the classroom stuff, and they say we're getting too much jersey pulling, cut down on that. We're getting too much encroachment of free kicks, cut down on that. That's their 2 days. Last I heard that's what was happening. Because they've all got big jobs, Ox. They're not going to pack in these jobs to take up refereeing, and then they get a bad injury or they make a few bad mistakes and they're out the game and in fact in their career. That's why they refuse to pack in their careers.
They've got a lot of training in England. England's different, mate. I think there'll be a lot of that goes on in Scotland, but not so much in England, mate. Anyway, right, I want to ask these questions just before we finish the show. We'll wind it up. And I'm going to start with Southside. And I'll go into Bridgeman next, then old Davy, and then Kirky and Willie. Man in a match on Saturday then, Southside. They never really touched it earlier on.
I said just because his performance and his touch was good for a change, he held the ball well, he worked hard, he scored the goal with a great header for a great cross. I gave it to Dessers, although he never played the full game.
No,
I thought he was imperative to have him be done going forward.
Bridgeman?
Yeah, I've got no arguments about that at all. No arguments. There was no major bungles by him, you know. I thought, I'd say it was, I think most of the players played well, but I thought Dessers shone a wee bit. And the crowd loved him.
He did up to that miss.
Absolutely, yeah.
Davey?
I can't disagree with the guys there. I would have given him that and all. Except the runner-up would be Matondo.
Actually, Matondo should have got it just for his goal. Fabulous goal, but...
It's always Dessers. Kirky?
Yes, indeed.
I'd say Dessers for his work rate and thing. I like Diamondi as well. I thought he had a really good game as well. The way he brought us out. And the confidence when he turned to two players in the middle of the park, it was a dangerous thing to do, but
he's me the fear.
No, he gave me the fear as well, but he was in. So
he's a player.
That's confident.
He's an intelligent man, Kirky. I told you about Diamondi, and I thought he was good on Saturday and all. I tried a pass, it got cut out, but we could have covered it by the time the ball went in the net. So I think he's a great player in all, Kirky.
I really do. I think he's a close second. Even Big Suitors played well. I think he was very dominant.
Had him running up, aye. Okay, Willie boy.
I think Dessers. I think he worked hard, scored a great goal, and his positional sense is really good. You know, he's running off the ball. He's occupying 2 defenders at a time. You know, I think he really worked hard, and I think he deserves man of the match.
I agree. Didn't see that coming, Southside, did you?
But Dessers playing well on the ball.
No.
Listen, he made a great run.
Man of the match. Unanimously, he's man of the match.
Aye. He made a great run, Ox, in the first half when he took the defender right into the box and he chopped it back and he cut it across for Scott Wright, I think. And he hit the target with the defender blocked it. He should probably had it a lot harder, but it was getting in until he should have. I thought he worked hard and his touch was good for a change, you know. He done a lot of running, a lot of hard work. And he gets himself into these scoring positions. Just had to get another one or two. Thought he should have walked maybe 2 anyway on Saturday. But listen, I'll take one next week. If it's the only goal again, that'll do for me, mate.
Okay. Well, David, we've reached that time of the evening. Last word for your good self.
Aye, thanks for taking my call, guys. It's always a great pleasure to be on this show. Best show in town. Always is, always has been. So I'll catch up with you guys, and you all take care and stay safe, and God bless the Rangers. Good night, guys.
Cheers, Davey. Always a pleasure, mate. Bolly boy.
Aye, thanks for taking my call, Ox. Keep up the good work. You're doing a great job, you and the guys in the background. Take you guys, magic.
Thought you might have been on the night.
Aye. And Cheers are sitting in a good place and bring on a separate entity. And my final word is, Amen.
Amen.
Well, do yourself,
Mr. Trump. Kirky boy.
Always a pleasure being on the show. Thanks for taking the call, boys. Best show in town as always. So, enjoy the battlefield we're on for Sunday night, like so.
We like to have you on to be fun out you're a referee, Kirky.
Played fitness to 46, then took referee up to 46 to 51. Like, so.
That's what you should have done, Budge. Put it back into the game.
Oh, goodness. I didn't want to do that because I could have ended. There'd be more fights when we've been a referee.
Well done
for the football.
Well done, Kirky.
Aye, well done.
Without a referee, you can't have a game of football. Well, you can, but be a bit different. Cheers, mate. Always good to hear from you, Kirky. Southside.
Thank you.
It's probably the hardest time being a referee getting up through the leagues, isn't it? Until the easy bit should be when you're actually in the Premier League refereeing. But no, it was good to do the show tonight with the legend, the Bridgeman, your good self, Fox. And it's just all the build up now to Sunday. So thanks for having us on, and hopefully the Rangers will do the business come Sunday, mate.
Cheers, mate. Cheers, mate. The Bridge.
Well, what can I say? Folks, a tremendous show. Great guests. Loved the part. It was really good. Really good. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And can I just say to all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world, biggest game of the season, probably of any season, coming up at the weekend. So looking forward to it. So everybody, please keep it going for the Rangers, because the Rangers need us, and they need us more than ever now. Keep it going.
Can I thank Kirky, Wally and Davey for joining us? Of course, 2 of them are referees. We're only pulling their leg. We do respect referees on here. And we like the lads as well. Thanks to the 3 for joining us. Thanks to Bridgeman and Southside for doing the show. Fox, taking time in his birthday to do the show. Big shout out to Fox. Many happy returns. And of course, the one and only Old School Blue. And we might have a wee exclusive for you tomorrow night. Thanks for listening. But you'll need to be on live. Thanks for listening. Take it away, Old School Blue.